The final set of songs and reputation missions have been added to Rhythm Surfer. I was wrong about one thing before, which is Auto Battle isn't completely useless because it does give you a score. You can see there's no rank still, but the score is useful because it means that we can actually clear all 28 missions to get these 3 mod gem selection boxes pretty easily. One thing about the Auto Battle is there are stages here where you have to get at least a certain point requirement, 250k for Midsummer Night, 200k for Our Miracle, and 300k for I'll Be Your Energy. This one's impossible, but for the 3 above, on Auto Battle, you do need to own both Frida and Ida, potentially just one for one of the songs, but the other 2 you need both. This isn't too bad, because I think you could also get away with just owning Shu. But since these are units that just came out and they were limited, it's a pretty good chance you have them. Let's also take a look at the missions that exclude autoplay. So this one, clear level 8 or higher stages 3 times. This one doesn't really matter that much because the game's very generous with what it counts as a clear. You literally just have to finish the song. You can see here I miss every single note except for the 5 from Mercedes passive. The song finishes and the God Hands achievement comes up without even playing the song. And then there's also these 2, 3000 perfects and 30 hero skills. Hero skills is just the soul burn effects. If you use Shu and Mercedes soul burns, you'll get a bunch of perfects for free, so you can just play some songs with those 2 units and you'll clear both of these missions. Then there's also the ones that don't count towards all achievements. So there's Frozen Eclipse on hard, S rank. It's just an SD sticker, so not a big deal if you miss it. And then there's also Invincible. This one's Cove Bookmarks, so it's a little bit more important. Also hard difficulty with S rank. Invincible and Frozen Eclipse you can both do by using the mashing strat that I showed last time, and I'll show a slightly improved version of that in a little bit. And then the last one is this 500k one. Doesn't count towards all achievements. You need a specific team. This one I could only get to about 400k on auto, so you're gonna have to actually play, and even with mashing I still only hit 450k, so this one's a little bit out of reach for most people, I would say. And then there's the point total ones. 10 million points in total. This is just every time you play a song it'll add to this. And best score is the sum of the highest scores you have in each song and each difficulty. So if you just play every single song with the best team, you should be able to get this pretty easily as well. So now let's take a look at the best team for when you're autoing. Frida and Ida should be your soul burns. They have the biggest effects. Score bonus when you use their soul burns. And then one thing is that I don't own any of these units on this account, so you can see all of their passive skills are actually blocked off. Arunka gives you 2 souls to start the stage, probably the least important one, but it would mean that you soul burn probably Frida instantly since she has higher score bonus, and you would get 24% score bonus for 15 extra seconds. And then Shu, Frida, and Ida are the big ones because 12% score bonus on perfects. On auto, every note is perfect, so it's just 12% score bonus. Ida is 10% score bonus, and Shu is 3,000 points for every 100 combos. I'd expect anywhere from 500 to 1,000 notes per stage, so it's anywhere from 15k to 30k extra points. If you own 2 of these 3 units, you should be able to get the point requirement for the 3 reputations that you need point requirements on. And since I don't own any of these units, it means that my scores are going to be lower than what you have, and if you have these units, or 2 of these 3 units rather, you should be able to get the point requirements. So let's take a look at the first one, Midsummer Night. This one had a 250k point requirement, and I hit 225. So if you have the point bonuses from Shu, Ida, or Frida, you should be able to hit 250k since this is only 25k off. The next one is Our Miracle. Our Miracle, you needed 200k on hard, and I'm only 8k off, so even just one of the 3 would be enough for this one. And then I'll Be Your Energy, you needed 300k for this, and I'm 21k off. So once again, 1, probably 2 of the units would be enough for you to get the point required, even on auto. So now let's revisit the mashing strat. In the reputations, there's the mission for clearing Invincible on hard with rank S or above. And when you're mashing, you're going to want Mercedes and Shu as your soul burn effects, since they give you perfect notes. Also lets you take a break with Mercedes. And your backup slots, probably Arunka and Frida would be the best ones, though I don't own any of them. And if you don't own Arunka, you could use Frida, So it doesn't matter who I put in, I'm just going to put in these two. I'm going to turn off auto and we're going to try it out. Okay, so before we go in, the recording didn't pick up my keybinds, so I'm going to show them real quick. This is on a different account, which is why everything looks different. So I made it so that all 5 lanes are bound to 3 keys. If I press A, S, or D here, it'll hit every single spot at the same time. I'm going to press A, and it hits settings and ready at the same time, which is why I also moved in. You're also going to want to make sure you have your 2 Soulbrand slots. You don't have to use the keys that I'm using. Use whatever's comfortable for you. We do want at least 2 slots, because we're going to be holding down one and mashing the other. I went for 3 because it's more comfortable for me to mash 2 buttons instead of 1, because I can just alternate. You can use however many you feel like is comfortable. So the keybinds are invisible because of the recording issue I mentioned, but it's just what you saw earlier. We're going to be holding down A so we can actually hit the hold notes this time, and then alternate between mashing the other 2. This does mean that you're guaranteed a good on the release, since you don't actually release the note, so it'll just give you a good. For these early ones, you could release it since they're still pretty easy, and then you just alternate between A and D. Make sure your auto Soulbrand is off, otherwise the game will overlap your Mercedes and Shu Soulbrands. And then you don't have to mash at max speed, you can just mash with about how fast the notes are coming down. And then once Mercedes Soulbrand comes up, we can use it. Oops, I hit the wrong one. Whatever. We're going to use Shu Soulbrand, and now you can just kind of mash however fast you want, because it's guaranteed to be greats. Or perfects. And then now Mercedes comes up, and we can just take a break for a bit. Her Soulburn is going to be 15 seconds with a 40-second cooldown. So once it gets to 26, that's when we're going to start mashing again. So now it's at 26, and now we're going to start playing again. Shu Soulbrand's coming up very soon, and we can press that. And then from here, I'm just going to skip ahead through the rest of the song, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. So here we made it to the end of the song, and we got our S rank. 91.56%. It'll vary a bit with how good, depending on how good you are at the mashing, of course. The S rank requirement is a 90%, so as long as you hit 90%, you're good to go. So overall, it's pretty nice that we can get pretty much all of the reputation missions done, at least for the mod gem selector chests. There are still some issues, of course. Like, I don't like that they put even 10 cuff bookmarks behind this rank S mission. They should have just left that at the SD stickers. Like, this Shu one could have been moved down to here, and that would have been way better. SD stickers being missable, I don't think is a huge deal, because they're just little things for your profile, and I guess they could just have it as like, oh, if you have this Hwa-Young one, because this one's actually decently hard to get, then you're actually, like, you actually played the game. That one's kind of whatever to me. The other issue is that clearing hard doesn't back clear the other ones. This is very standard in rhythm games. If you clear the highest difficulty, you still have to go back and do the other ones, because you would, like, they track full combos usually, so it's like you have to full combo this and full combo this, but this is also just Epic 7, and I don't want to. The thing I hate the most in rhythm games is having to go back and clear easy stages, which is why I just don't do it most of the time. So it'd be nice if we could go back, if clearing hard would auto-clear the other ones. But overall, still had fun with the event, and I hope you guys are able to get all of these missions done.